Hello everyone, I'm Anna and welcome to the channel. For today's piece, I did a small test piece before starting on the finished one, just so I could get the colours right. So I thought I'd show it at the start of the video, just so you'd have an idea of what the picture was going to look like in the end. As usual, I start with the skin layer, laying down a layer of red in the areas where blood will be flowing underneath the skin, some yellow as an undershadow, and some blue as the shadings. I sped this bit up quite a bit faster than I usually do, just because the video was getting a little too long. Even at this length, I'm not too sure I'm going to be able to keep speaking for the whole video. For Inktober's videos, I definitely think I'm going to get them to around the same length as last year, around 3 minutes. As you saw in the test piece, I chose to colour her hair bright orange. I wanted a nice contrast to her pale skin, but not something that was like dark. I didn't want her skin to be too contrasted, and the orange was very vibrant and brought out a lot of the warmer tones in her skin. Although, interesting points about this piece, I actually meant to do on a different piece of paper. The piece here is actually done on De La Rowney's Aquafine watercolour paper in 10x7 size, but I actually intend to use Bockingford's watercolour paper in 10x7 size, just because it picks up crayons so much better than Aquafine due to its lack of uniform texture. The Aquafine paper tends to be very holey, like you can see the texture quite easily, whereas with the Bockingford it looks a lot more natural because of how both papers are made. I didn't realise this to the end of the piece though, although it did explain why my crayons weren't working as well as they should have. I had a piece I'd already used the crayons on up as reference, just so I knew how I'd want to do the blush over her face, and it was quite mystifying at the time why the crayons weren't working as well as they did before. Obviously I know now, it was because I was using the wrong paper. Here's my actual favourite part of the piece, it's when I do the branches in her hair. First I'm using a Pilot Super Clear gold pen. It's like an acrylic marker, it's very opaque, so I thought it'd give me very strong base layers for the branches. I wanted something very thick and opaque that would really cover the orange paint I'd already put down while also standing out against the paper. This pen did that for me. I also used some gel pens, metallic gel pens in gold and silver. The silver one to add some like draping wires coming off the branches to make them look a little bit more, I don't know, cutesy or spooky maybe? Don't really know, mystical perhaps. The gold was to create branches to wrap round the already painted down branches, just to create the illusion that they were more 3D than what they appeared to be on the paper. I decided to add crayons to this piece because recently I've been experimenting with just laying down a flat layer of watercolour maybe with a little bit of shading and then adding more tone and depth with crayons, since I get a lot more control out of crayons and I can also push them to be very strong, since with watercolour you layer it to get a stronger colour. I'm very much enjoying using crayons on top of watercolours at the moment. I do think it's adding a little bit more of a dimension to my piece. Unfortunately, because I used the wrong paper, this piece doesn't show it off as much as previous pieces have that I've used this technique on. I decided to crayon over her hair as well because one of my problems with watercolouring hair is it takes forever to get the level of strands I wanted, and most of the time they don't turn out exactly how I'd like them to, especially with longer hair like this. So I thought I would use the crayons to add some definition and tone by using a orange crayon that's almost the exact same shade as the orange of her hair, and a sanguine brown crayon just to add a little difference into the strands. I decided to give her some tattoos using the metallic gold pens in the original draft, so I carried that through into the finished piece. I wanted to really unite the metallic branches in her hair with the rest of the piece, so giving her some tattoos using the same pens I thought would really unite it all. The ones on her upper arm that are like the leaf swirling patterns, obviously you saw were already in the original, but the one on her lower arm that's in the silver and the one on her chest I improvised on the spot. I thought it needed some more leaves and I didn't like the barity of that area of the picture. In hindsight, I kind of wish I planned out the chest one a little better. While it looks okay, I would have preferred a little bit of a less unrealistic look to the tattoo, but it still looks okay, and when you improvise on the spot you do give up that little bit of control, but I'm still happy with the final piece. I think it's good practice to be a little honest about the parts of your piece you don't particularly like, not for other people but for yourself, so in the future you know if you want to do that technique again. Well, I think that's the end of the video now. I look forward to seeing you all in my next videos, which will most probably be Inktober videos since that's like a week on Sunday until October, although I do have a couple of Copic pieces prepared that I might put up on the channel without voiceover, just because I filmed them and I'd like to actually edit them and put them out there. So I'll see you all in the next video. Have fun. Bye.